It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Next on Madden NFL 25.
Show what you got. Let's go.
Oh, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
And we are underway in Buffalo. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Here's Nix to throw right away. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 48-yard line, here's a second down and 4. The first carry now. This is Williams. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. But there aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Allen. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
3rd and 2. Allen off the play fake. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
To the air, Allen. Here's a diving catch right side. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. The slot man in motion right. So the shotgun snap to Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Coleman. And the Bills are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Cook. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now Allen. He's got it. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel from 6 yards away. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
3rd and 4. To throw is Nix. Short throw caught by Dulcich. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down, Broncos.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Up the middle, it's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
This is Coleman with the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. To throw, it's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Allen going to throw. And complete, right side to Cook. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays,
They run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Allen. That escapes the sack. It's complete to Cook. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, 28 yards. And the Bills have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was James Cook finishing things off with a touchdown catch. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And coming out now, the Broncos. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Short throw caught by Dulcich. And he will be out of bounds after a nice pickup. And that will also lead us to the 2-minute warning. Second down and 4. Here's Nix. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Here's Nix once more. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense and running back James Cook heading onto the field. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get...
He's got a man complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. He's got the connection downfield to Hamler. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop it. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And it's caught. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Allen going to try and keep it. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Officially it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. Sliding out of the pocket. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Bass is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
The Bills were led in the first half by their all-world quarterback, Josh Allen. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Johnson jostles free. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bills offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Samuel going to go in motion right. First down, here's the run with Cook. Cody Barton there to bring him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Allen. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Throwing Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Nix to the air. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 46, here's second down and a yard. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run it again with Williams. Down to about the 45. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 22-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Now it's Nix. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams, 14 yards. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, it could be a long road back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the 3rd quarter with their first touchdown of the game.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker, the penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tyler Bass now for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To throw, here's Nix. Short throw caught by Dulcich.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Bills are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Cook. is in. Touchdown, Bills. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Bass on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. Mims in motion left. They'll fake the jet sweep, and instead of give up the middle to Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd and 6. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They run. It's Williams. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Bills are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 82 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Up the middle, it's Cook. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside